There are so many great cases out there, but you can only choose one for your next PC build. And Whitson, I think we've got more than people think across the ASUS verse.
Yes, that is a good way to put it. When you look at just the ROG lineup, we've got a couple cases. And I think a lot of people who are buying like some ROG parts and maybe they want to build an all ROG PC or look at what we have, they might look at the ROG lineup and say like, oh, there aren't that many cases, or these don't quite fit what I'm going for. But the reality is we actually have a whole bunch of cases across the ASUS lineups, ROG, TUF Gaming, ProArt, and ASUS Prime, there is definitely a case for you within this lineup. Even if you're doing an ROG build, a lot of these non-ROG cases would also fit really well with an ROG themed build. So we are going to go through all of them today, almost all of them.
There's a lot,
but we're going to, yeah, I know there is a lot. And there are some that are a little bit older that like are still floating around in retailers out there. We're not really going to go through those. We're going to go through like kind of the current lineup of stuff. So we're going to start though with ROG because I think that is the most natural place for us to start. So let's do those first, and then we'll kind of venture off into uncharted territory.
Okay.
For this show, at least.
A fan favorite, the ROG Hyperion. Let's open it up.
The ROG Hyperion. We announced this one a couple of years ago. This is kind of the newest member of the ROG case family. This thing is awesome looking. It's a big boy. This is for an extended ATX build or a smaller motherboard if you want. But what's really nice about it is that it's got so much space in there that you can put in a lot of radiators. There's like a cool reservoir in that image. There's like a lighting panel next to the motherboard that you can kind of customize. Obviously, you've got RGB in there, but it also has some nice ventilation coming through the front despite that kind of unique design. So
one little fun thing about the Hyperion that I'll never forget is when COVID happened, we actually did a digital convention. We had a Steam game called ROG Citadel 13, where you could go to a show floor, and the Hyperion in the first iteration of Citadel was a concept case. Didn't have a name yet or anything, but this concept design was built into the game, which is a little fun thing. But it didn't come out for a couple of years after that. But it is...
That is cool.
Yeah.
So if we scroll down, you can see some of the features of this case. It does come in a black edition, a white edition, and a BTF edition if you want a hidden cable style build. Kind of like I talked about there, like you've got good airflow path through the front. Even though the mesh isn't super visible, it's still there. It's not like a completely flat front panel. Again, a lot of different things you can do with that extra space. You can put fans there. You can do an ROG themed lighting panel there. You can load up on 2.5-inch SSDs if you still have some of those around. I do. I actually am still using some 2.5-inch. I have 2.5-inch HDDs, like spinning hard drives, like 1 terabyte.
That's insane.
From old laptops that I was like, well, they still work, and there's room in the back of my case for it, so I'll just like toss them in there. They are slow, but you know what? For scratch storage or for just like long-term storage, I have a home server downstairs. I don't really need them, but I have them. Why not? They're free.
Yeah.
Anyway. A lot of great cable management features. Again, really roomy for the latest graphics cards. That's something really important in cases today because some of the older cases that you may, because a good case can last you multiple builds, but if graphics cards have gotten a little bit bigger and you are kind of spaced out of your current case, now's a good time to grab a new one because a lot of these cases are primed and ready for the latest 40 and 50 series cards. It's even got a nice little window for your ROG Thor power supply, which is cool.
It's so cute. Yeah, that is a unique thing with our cases and our power supplies, having that panel on the side.
Yeah, because we offer the power supply that has that little OLED screen that can show you your power usage and stuff like that. A lot of the cases we're going to talk about today have either a fully toolless design or a lot of toolless features. So you don't need to pick up a screwdriver every time you're fiddling with something in the case. The Hyperion has a nice door that just like opens up. Really, really easy to get inside without unscrewing anything. Honestly, I'm making myself jealous right now because I have an old case that is not so toolless, shall we say.
Yeah, I'm excited just looking at this page because
built-in graphics card holder.
One thing we didn't talk about is they're sending me a BTF motherboard as I have a BTF 5090, the ROG Astral 5090 BTF edition. So we're planning a future build kind of upgrade to that ecosystem, but I think in that process we're probably going to have to get a new case too, because I don't think my case is going to
Very
be
likely.
compliant. So yeah, seeing these features like a graphics card holder, like, oh, that's a must have nowadays.
A lot of really nice little features. Like there, this is the top of the line case in our lineup.
Yes.
Kind of like balls to the wall, right? That has all of these extra features. J Volt says, but screwing things in is part of the building experience. Yes, I don't mind screwing things in when I'm building. It's afterwards when I'm like, oh, I gotta like swap out this SSD, or like I gotta go like fiddle with a cable in there that's being weird or whatever. That's when I don't want to have to unscrew stuff. That's when that kind of stuff drives me nuts. So having just that door that I can open is really nice. But for building, yeah, you gotta have a screwdriver. So that's the ROG Hyperion. Those of you that have been around a couple years may also be familiar with our other ROG case, which is known as the ROG Strix Helios. I love this case. I have built in it. It also really roomy, just really easy to work in. A lot of nice little extra features. Bit of a different look. Really cool RGB glass front panel. However, we know that a lot of people really want that airflow through the front, kind of like I was talking about with the Hyperion. So we have built the ROG Strix Helios II.
Oh,
This
it's
is
so attractive.
recently announced, going to be part of kind of our Gamescom announcement lineup. Very similar to the original Strix Helios. It's EATX. It's available in black and white, just like the others. But you'll notice that the front panel, instead of being glass, is now a metal front panel with these really cool, like diamond cut grill slash marks for airflow to go through. And there's a fan filter behind that you can pull out. So this is, I think, a really nice improvement to the Helios. I do really love the old glass look, but I think this is a little bit more functional for a lot of people because of that airflow. You still get some nice accents on the front. This is a nice case, and it's still got those straps on top for carrying, which is actually really nice. I always thought that was like, oh, this is cool, but then when I actually had to like lug it around, I was like, oh, actually amazing.
Yeah, it's actually like, it's one of those things. So I have like a wood veneer desk, and when I have to pick up my case, I have an 11DXL. Love this case right now, but I've scratched this desk multiple times, right? It's not great. So you have straps. You think, like, well, what do you need those straps for? Functionality of just cleanly lifting it off your desk is great, right? 2, LAN parties. Let's go.
I miss LAN parties.
Don't let your memes be dreams, man. Do it up.
It's true. Just need to get some friends. Okay, so that's the ROG lineup. Check out the ROG Strix Helios 2. It is not available to buy just yet, but if you keep an eye on a product page, keep an eye on our social media accounts, it will be on shelf soon. Lots of really cool stuff in this case. Yeah, like I mentioned, there's the white version right there, which I rather like.
Yeah, both really attractive.
Oh, it's got a window for the Thor too. Nice. I don't know if the old one had that. It might have.
I believe it did, but I could be wrong.
There you go. Another nice thing. So all of these links are in the description of the video, by the way. Really nice thing about all these product pages is that there is, on a lot of them, there is a section of the page that will show you radiator and fan compatibility. Just like with graphically, it'll be like 240, 360, blah, blah. And then for fans too. Really nice, easy way to see what is compatible with which of these cases. Both of the ROG cases are beefier, right? Because they're EATX. So you shouldn't have too much of a problem fitting whatever you need in there. And it also makes them really easy to build in. But if you want something a little bit smaller, we do have some smaller options, but they are in other ASUS lineups. So let's move on to TUF Gaming. Still gaming cases. These are not ROG, but you could totally build an ROG machine and it would feel right at home. This is the TUF Gaming GT302. I really dig this case. I still like that general, like kind of old school mid-tower shape. Big wide grille on the front, but you can see the fans through it, so you get a lot of airflow there. Just kind of a standard shape, but with that kind of tough aesthetic. This is a good one. Also supports BTF motherboards. This is ATX size, so a bit smaller. You can get it with a mesh side panel or a glass side panel.
That's nice.
So if you want, and there's a few cases we're going to talk about that have that option. So if you want the glass, you want to see everything in there, you can do that. Or you can go with mesh and get a little bit more airflow, have a slightly more understated kind of looking case. A lot of options. So
Yeah.
yeah, I dig this one. I've seen some really cool builds in this too.
It's kind of a blank canvas, right? You can glam it up as much or as little as you want, right? So it's clean, it's pretty neutral overall, and it's going to let you flex it however you want.
Yeah, and with stuff like, I mean, so some of the builds I've seen in this, you wouldn't look at them and think like, oh, that's like kind of a plain case or whatever, because you can get like the Ryuo in there with a crazy animation and a nice, awesome looking graphics card, and all of a sudden the build really comes together and it really shows off your.
Exactly. Or you can go air cooling and be that guy and have it just look like an old school rugged gaming machine.
You could. Especially if you go with that mesh side panel.
That's true.
Now, if you like the more panoramic style, we've also got the GT502 Horizon. We've got a few panoramic cases. This is probably one of the larger ones. If you like that kind of more cube-like shape.
This looks a lot like the case I'm currently using.
Gaming aesthetic.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah. This style was like very hot there for a minute. It still is, but like for a minute, everyone was buying cases that look like this, and with good reason, right? Like you get some really nice airflow while still being able to have that glass front panel. Like you're not necessarily giving up airflow because you have that extra space for those fans next to the motherboard. And it just looks really nice. And for a lot of people, that like more cubish shape is really cool. So I'm a fan of this one. You can scroll down to see some of these features. This one does have a separate RGB lighting kit available that you can buy separately and then attach to it if you want to get a little bit more of that RGB flair. It does come in both black and white as well.
I love that this is a kit designed for this that's separate, because if you don't want the RGB, you don't have to pay for it, right? You're not paying for that natively, and then you can choose to upgrade it if you want it.
Yep, exactly. I kind of dig that approach.
Me too. Because a lot of people don't want RGB, or they only want a little bit of RGB.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm the opposite. If you look at my office, give me all the RGB.
Oh man. Okay, so those are our two main TUF gaming cases right now. Like I said, there may be a couple older TUF gaming cases that are still kind of floating around at retailers. But these are the two main ones that we offer. Yeah, obviously you've got an option to mount your graphics card vertically, which I think for this kind of case, that's the way to go. It's what a lot of people do,
I would agree.
At least.
I would agree. Up next, we got some ProArt builds, yeah?
I really like the ProArt cases. If you want something that is a bit more kind of sleek, you could still totally put a gaming machine in one of these, right? But it's got a little bit of a different look to it. We've seen some really cool like setups that are a lot of like wood and like plants and greenery and stuff, like very, like this is the kind of case that would go well with that. In fact, Jake, go to the next tab. This is the ProArt PA602, but we also have a PA602 wood edition, which the front panel uses this really slick looking ash wood.
Look at that energy.
Love this. I love this so freaking much. I have seen some all ProArt builds in this, and they look so baller with like the black and gold accents all over everything. I love that color scheme. But again, you could totally put TUF, ROG, whatever parts in here and build a really stylish gaming machine. With a different aesthetic.
Put it on black mode, like all RGB off, right? And then slap this on your mahogany desk, smoke your cigar, and be a fancy gamer. Like,
now you could also, there are some RGB like patterns that you could do in here that would actually really fit, because it has that black and gold color scheme. You could have like a little bit of like orange or something in there. It would look really sick. So that is an EATX case. Okay. A lot of air intake in the front, like we've talked about. That's something that I know a lot of people want. Like we mentioned with the TUF, some of these ProArt cases are available with a mesh side panel if you don't want glass, or you can go with a metal side panel if you want it to be straight up, just like blank on the side.
Nice.
But you can also do glass if you want to see the build inside. So yeah, you could do that route as well. Now, If you want something a little bit smaller, a bit more of kind of that typical mid-tower size, we also offer the PA401 in both regular and wood edition. So very similar style here, as you guys can see. But this is an ATX case, so it's a little bit more compact, but still plenty of airflow, similar design. I think this one's priced pretty well for the quality too.
$140. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, it's a pretty big jump down from the PA602. So if you don't need all of that extra space, this case is probably a little bit more bang for your buck. It still has a lot of those ProArt accents and stuff that look really premium.
Love it.
Now, I'm probably not supposed to say this, but Taiwan's asleep right now. I've heard tell that some other versions of these cases may be on the way someday.
Water edition. It's made out of water instead of wood.
That would be cool. Okay. Yeah, dude. Do one that looks like a fish tank so you can do a mineral oil PC in it. Yeah.
Let's go.
Now we're talking. Let's go. All right. So that's ProArt. Now I want to move on to the ASUS case. These are some of the cases that really inspired this episode because I saw some of these cases at like Computex and CES, and I was like, you could totally build an ROG machine in here with all of the RGB and Strixy goodness that, I just hit my microphone, that you want, and it would still look totally at home in one of these cases. So this is the Prime AP202. Another panoramic case, kind of similar to the TUF one, but this one is much more compact. In fact, it's so compact that this one is a micro ATX case.
What?
So you're going a little bit smaller, even smaller than ATX, but not quite so small that it's like impossible to build in, right? Like the ITX cases that I personally love. But micro ATX is a really good kind of mid, and micro ATX boards cost less. So I'm kind of the opinion that a lot more people could be using micro ATX than probably are. It is a really good size that gives you most of the features you need in terms of the motherboard side in a smaller space and for a smaller price. So anyway, and I think this case is really, really cool. It uses curved tempered glass.
Yeah, I saw that.
Unique.
That's really interesting.
And the whole thing comes off so you can get in there. And then you'll notice on the bottom too, it's got that unique airflow channel kind of along the bottom of the case.
Yeah, with RGB built into
air.
that. Yeah.
Yep, right there. And it's got that cool RGB lighting around it. So pretty unique looking case. I like it a lot. It comes in black and white.
Nice.
Yeah, I've seen some cool builds in that one. The radiator compatibility going to be a little bit different with this one. So if you already have like an AI stuff and you're thinking of transferring that to a new build, double check the page, make sure that your stuff is compatible because you're probably not going to get like a 360 mil radiator in there, right? Mm-hmm.
Cool. Up next, we've got the ASUS Prime AP201, another micro ATX.
This is another micro ATX, kind of similar size, but it's all mesh. I think this one is a little bit older. I could be wrong. A little bit more understated because it doesn't have the glass panel and stuff.
Looks like a speaker.
A lot of airflow with that mesh, though. It kind of does.
Yeah.
And you know what? For some people, like that's what they want.
They want the stealth PC.
Because it's all mesh. If you scroll, there you go. You still can get a little bit of a peak.
That's cool.
But it's a lot more like muted. For some people, that may be cool. For some people, if you're just trying to build like, I don't know, like a little home server kind of thing, like that's the kind of case that I originally built my home server in before I did a rack mounted thing.
Fair.
Not really what we're talking about today because we're talking about gaming PCs, but like just saying, it's a cool use case for that too. And it comes in black and white, like almost everything we're talking about today. I love how many of these cases come in black and white.
Speaking of the A31 Plus, black and white.
This is my favorite of the bunch. If I were building today, I would be tempted to buy this case. So there are two versions of this. There's the ASUS A31 and the A31 Plus. The Plus comes with 4 fans, as you can see in this picture. The regular A31 does not come with fans. So if you already have fans that you're using, you can buy the regular A31, save a few bucks. The A31, I think, is only $79.99, so which is like a great price for a case that looks this freaking good. So this is BTF compatible as well.
Yeah, surprising.
Yeah, again, a little bit. It's a mid tower. It's an ATX case, but a little bit more compact. You don't have like as much room as you do on like Hyperion or something like that.
Mhm.
It's just the amount of room that you need for like an ATX build. It's got
Yeah.
that kind of slant on the bottom, which is pretty cool.
So that when I drop my screws,
I
they roll off. They don't get stuck in the
They roll
case.
right into your lap. Hadn't thought about that at
That's
all.
the first thought I had.
Man, it is interesting reading chat and seeing everyone's opinions. A lot of very differing opinions. Some people are like, I love this case, I hate this case, and then another person will have an opposite opinion. So like that's what's beautiful about this, is that we have so many cases that no matter what your taste is, if you like more understated, you like the mesh, we've got that. If you want the glass, you want to show off your balls to the wall RGB build, we've got cases that do that too, and we've kind of got everything in between. But this is my personal favorite. Jake, if you had to pick a personal favorite so far.
I mean,
What's
I'm Team ROG all the way, but I'm actually a big fan of our new Helios too. Like I actually
the Helios 2.
I think since I've had the cube glass for a while, I'm bored of it. Right? It's like right,
I feel that.
And I just love the metal facing here. Right? It just feels rugged. I don't know.
They did such a good job of keeping the general feel of the original Helios while still adding that airflow, right? Like sometimes you change one panel on a case and it changes the whole feel of it, but that really is that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Like that's the up a little bit, the radiator and fan compatibility. Like this little chart is so freaking nice.
Really, really useful. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at the dimensions when it comes to deciding my next case for the next PC. I'm worried that I'm so used to the cube. I like the height of the cube. Are these gonna be a lot taller? I don't know. We're gonna find out.
I don't know. Probably not. I think a lot of it will be a little bit taller, but I think a lot of the size differences between these cases are more like in the width of the front panel and then in the depth. Right. For
that makes
height,
sense.
I mean, obviously, like some of those micro ATX cases are going to be shorter, but a lot of the ATX and EATX cases, like, it might be a little bit taller, but a big part of the volume, I think, is coming from the width and the depth.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have to have an ROG case because I've got a Thor PSU. I want to show that bad boy off, and I want to see those numbers.
I want to see how much electricity
I want to see
I'm pulling from the grid.
Why my bill is so high.
Oh man. Okay. So I distracted us. I'm sorry. There are two more ASUS cases to go through after this one. We've got the ASUS A23. Oh yeah, I forgot we had these other pictures.
Some more pictures of the A31. Yeah,
I did. We've got more pictures of the A31 with like an actual build inside. This was an article that our colleague Eric did, and I just wanted to show
the fans at an angle on the bottom there is actually so cool. Like it's cool. That's a statement piece. Like that's not a standard case that you see everybody having.
No, I want it. I might have to get one.
There's
for only $80. That's a really good case, and I haven't upgraded my case in years.
Yeah, that's nice.
Ugh. I do this sometimes. I stagger my upgrades. Like I'll upgrade the motherboard, GPU, and all that stuff, but I'll keep the same case. And then like a few years later, I'll upgrade just the case and migrate the build from one case to another. This might be what I do next.
Yeesh. Do it up.
Yeesh. All right. ASUS A23 Plus. This is again kind of like more of a standard mid tower shape. A lot of glass. Kind of a unique glass front panel though.
Yeah, the pill shape is cool.
A little bit of a different look for this one.
I can dig it.
But it's also there's a little bit of a space between it and the front. So I think you still like get some airflow through that front and stuff like that. But you get, if you want that glass front, this is kind of the way to do it. So you at least get some air coming through the sides.
BTF. Okay.
ATF compatible, baby. There's so many good ones. Now this is micro ATX. So if you're going for a slightly smaller build in here, but still enough room for a big old graphics card. And it comes in black and white. Do you remember what it used to be like trying to build a white PC? There's like
It was impossible.
so
Even like 5
few
years ago. Like
parts you
5
could
years ago,
choose
it was
from.
so hard. Now we've got monitors, we've got everything. Right? 5
You
years
got
ago, we were
everything.
starting to release a handful of keyboards and mice. Like that was it. We had just started, but now, I mean, if you want a white aesthetic setup, you got it. Easy.
Final case, the ASUS A21. This is also micro ATX, but this one uses a mesh front panel.
Yeah.
So for those of you that really, really want that mesh front panel for the best possible airflow, you've got it here. This one is also very affordable. I don't remember the exact price on this one, but I remember this one being one of the more affordable cases we offer. So if you're trying to keep the price down, this is a great option. I think I had to, the price. Yeah, for some reason the price isn't listed on the thing. I had to go to Newegg. Here it is. What is it? What is it? This one's $64.99 right now.
Yeah, not
I
bad
think
at
list
all.
price is $70, but it's $5 off right now. $64.99. That's really good. Again, for a case that looks this good, easy. Easy clap. Is the A21 a successor to the A201? Do you mean the AP201, the one we showed earlier? I don't think so. I think they're different use cases. The P is for panoramic, I think. Maybe not. Oh, the AP201 is the one that we showed earlier, I think.
This guy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a direct successor or not. I don't know if I would necessarily say that. I also don't know which one of these came out first. But yeah, I mean,
They seem very
they're
different.
both out right now. So yeah, they're kind of different use cases to me, or different. I mean, I guess they're kind of similar, but I think I don't know if I would call it a successor so much as just different options to create that range of cases to fit all of the different kind of needs and aesthetic preferences, right? Like that's what we're trying to do here. And again, the reason I did this is because when you look at all of these cases, you could totally build a gaming machine in this case. ROG parts would look totally at home in one of these, but we put it in the ASUS line because it is not just a gaming case. You could build any kind of machine in this, whereas the ROG cases are definitely styled for like that gamer aesthetic, right? So they belong in ROG. The other ones you could totally build with ROG parts, but because they have a wider appeal, they go in some of the other lines. And so I think people, including myself, forget about that sometimes when looking at our offerings, thinking, oh, it's just ROG and TUF for gaming stuff. But no, a lot of the ASUS Prime products, especially the cases, but other stuff too, as well as even some of the ProArt stuff would totally work in a machine that was designed primarily. It's all about what kind of look you want to achieve, what features you need, and what price you want to too. That definitely has something to do with it. So,
Dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah. Go check out all of these cases at the links in the video description, and tell us below which one you like the best. That's it for our main topic today. But as always, guys, this is just part of our show. If you want to see the full ROG Pulse stream where Jake and I make absolute fools of ourselves, you can tune in live every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. We do giveaways on the live streams. We talk about games. We answer your questions, not just about the main topic, but about all kinds of other stuff. So be sure to watch live to see the full show, and to see even more awesome ROG gear. Follow and subscribe right here to the ROG Twitch and YouTube channels, where Jake is always streaming games on Tuesdays and Fridays, and sometimes Thursdays if Pulse isn't happening. You're going to be streaming all week next week because I'll be at Gamescom.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know what you're going to be. Do you know what you're going to be streaming yet?
A variety of things. I just picked up the Bazaar, which launched on Steam. I've played that in the past. It used to be its independent launch game, but now it's on Steam. So I might play that. We'll see.
Nice. Cool. All right. So yes, guys, you can come hang out with us anytime on YouTube and Twitch. So be sure to keep it tuned right here.